And I think we are ready for the spiel.
Got it. So we are there.
Great. Well, it's good to see everybody, or actually we can't see anybody, but we're really happy to see that there's a lot of screens up and a lot of participants. And we do hope that this is the last time we have to do this completely virtually. But just because it's virtual doesn't mean we won't have fun. We are ready to go here. We've got our gin for me and some Hudson River whiskey for Cantor J. So that's just a little bit of product placement in case anybody wants to send a case our way from the Hudson Whiskey Distillery. So it says it's as bold as New York, right? So I don't know that I've ever tasted Hudson River water, but it makes pretty good. It makes pretty good whiskey. So, but we do want to make a kiddush because this is Purim. The time when we're supposed to say Ad lo yada, you drink until you don't know the difference between Haman and Mordechai, and we actually have a special Purim Kiddush cup from our Kiddush cup collection. Epner's dedicated this cup so that we would be able to celebrate Purim in style year after year, and so that's what we get to do today. Hopefully next year we get to, well, I don't know if we'll get to the point where we can actually share the cup, but you know, where we can make Kiddush together. So that would be nice. So let's make Kiddush.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei beri hagafen l'chaim.
L'chaim. In case you're wondering where we are, Cantor J and I are having a slumber party in Cantor J's office tonight. So that's good because that way we don't have to drive home.
That's right. And we got plenty of time to surf the channels with everybody. And so what do you say, Rabbi? Should we get some brachot?
Yeah, let's do a little brachot, and we have the whole Megillah here somewhere. There it is.
Would you look at this? A genuine Megillah, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. The story of Esther. Now, we're not going to read every Hebrew verse, but we're going to get through the whole story tonight. And to start things off, we want to say the blessings. And the blessings are a good thing because it's actually a commandment to read the Megillah. And when we say the blessings, it means that we are certified kosher, good to go for Purim. So there's 3 blessings. One is for the mitzvah of hearing the Megillah. The other's for the miracle of our ancestors being saved. And then the last blessing is Shehechianu. Maybe we'll all sing that one together. All right, first blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sha'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Amen. Blessing number 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
And the first verse of the Megillah, we're going to do that as well. And then after that, Cantor J and I can kick back, and we're just going to watch catch some shows on the tube. Yeah, okay.
Maybe some commercials too. I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, here's verse number 1, chapter 1. Vayehi bimei Achashverosh, hu Achashverosh, hamolech mehodu ve'ad kush, sheva ve'esrimu mea medina. All right, let's get to some channel surfing, everyone.
Sure you know it well. Whatever our chance, here's our chance, here's our chance.
Another Purim without a party to go to. But at least I still have my favorite beverage and 700 channels on the cable. I'll bet there's something Purim related on here somewhere.
Hello everyone, I'm Anderson Pooper and this is Shushan Tonight on the Shushan Entertainment Network. Tonight, we take you to the Royal Palace where King Ahasuerus is welcoming dignitaries on the red carpet before a huge banquet to honor himself. Let's see, here comes Donald the Loser, the infamous real estate mogul dressed in Tommy Hilfiger. Bernie the Dreamer Bezos, he wants to eat corned beef with mayonnaise on rye while traveling among the stars. Dick Cheney, former vizier, you never want to go hunting with this guy. You could get an arrow in the face. George Two in the Bush, the father and son wrestling tag team. Ken Gryffindor, the man behind all things conservative in Shushan. Rudy Giuliani, purveyor of ugly fashion accessories, hair dye, and adult novelty items. With this lineup, the banquet is destined to be a stupor bowl.
I'm Dana Bash, Sherritt, for NNN, the Nevish News Network. We have a breaking news regarding the famed party happening at the palace. It has devolved into total debauchery. The king and his guests have been partying now for 180 days, and it has gotten so extreme that many of them have developed cirrhosis of the liver. There are also reports of gorging. People are literally eating and drinking to the point of vomiting. Oy! And this just in. Many guests have shed their clothing and are dancing around the palace in a nude conga line?
Hey man, are we on the air? Yeah? Okay. Welcome to the Persian Pod Stop, man. This week we're having a special. Oh yeah, our new strain called Dancing Queen Kush. Wow, it is really strong. It's so powerful, it'll have Queen Vashti, you know the hottie, dancing naked in no time at all. So come on down, man. The first 100 customers will get a free gram of Haman's home-ground hash. And that stuff will kick your ankles, man. Or you could have a Persian pre-roll. So come on in on your way to the palace. Be sure to check out our new special kosher section, Jane for Jews.
Anderson Pooper here, day 170. As reported previously on Shushan Tonight, the King's Banquet is still in progress. Will the party never stop? They are at 5.5 months already. Today, there were calls by the King for Queen Vashti to dance naked for his guests. What will the response be?
At Hines Chariot Exchange. If you're looking to go for a scenic horse and buggy adventure, move your entire family to a new hovel, or just get your family to Shul on time, we have the ride for you. With the best financing available, we guarantee you the highest rates and lowest satisfaction. For the truly adventurous, try our sister company, Pimp My Ride. They can load you up with lethal blades to decorate your wheels with their Ben-Hur special, or ignite your ride with their chariots of fire.
My beloved stockholders, as you can tell from the solid gold chamber pots, we have had another great year at Median Media. telling everyone what to think and how to do it. Yes, those fancy elitist critics dismissed cuneiform, saying it wasn't as pretty as hieroglyphics. That is true. And so what? Cuneiform is faster, and that is what counts in communications. Oh, I hear that the Semites have something called an alphabet. 21 symbols, but they all sound like k. No, cuneiform is here to stay. Now, for your entertainment, here is the Queen to dance.
What do you mean, dance? After 10 children, I can barely walk.
And they were hardly worth the stretch marks.
How many children are left?
They've all killed each other. Royal families tend to be that way. So, are you going to do a striptease for the stockholders?
Ha! If HBO can't get me to do a nude scene, you haven't a chance. Find some other starlet.
We interrupt this program for a special news report. I'm live at the palace waiting for King Ahasuerus to announce his decision on the banishment of Queen Vashti.
Death or banish, death or banish. My decision is so gigantish. This I tell ya, brother, it will be one or the other. Death or banish, death or banish. This decree will show that I'm really mannish. Ask our local gentry, and they will say it's elementary. Try to mitigate them. That's no solution. Try, and I could only come to this conclusion: death or banish, death or banish. I wanted death, but that's not very Hamish. Vashti's like no other. She shall live, but she shall go live with another.
Hello, ladies. Queen Vashti here. Has the time come to leave your husband and you have to pack your bags on the double? Are you worried that your silk and linen tunics and gowns will be a rumpled, crumpled mess when you arrive at your destination? Do what I've done and invest in a set of Samsonite luggage designed by Samson himself. Samson has created the most durable, the most lightweight bags in the empire. Last month, his skedaddle luggage brought down the house and delighted the audience at the Philistine Travel Expo. If you buy now, he'll throw in a free fanny pack. I know I'll be sporting one as I hightail it out of Shushan on the next rail.
All those channels, and couldn't stick with any of them for more than a couple of minutes.
One after the other.
Yeah, this past weekend, where I was?
Where's that?
I had lunch with a moil.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. And we were talking and going back and forth and telling stories. And it reminded me of the time I was in Jerusalem. I was actually walking down the street and I passed this storefront and these beautiful clocks in the window. I mean, just gorgeous, old ones, new ones. I mean, amazing. And I like clocks. Okay. I've got a few. I thought I'm going to go in and get a clock. And walked in the store. I say, I'd like to buy a clock. We don't sell clocks here. Well, what's with the window? You've got a million clocks in the window. Why don't you sell clocks? What do you do? He said, I'm a moil. I said, so why do you have clocks in the window? He says, what should I put in the window? But actually, the whole time I'm telling that story, I know you're thinking, I'm having lunch with a moil. Who leaves the tip? I don't.
Yes.
I don't actually know, because at the last minute I had to look away.
This is true.
I think you got a verse from the Megillah for us.
And that's
don't you?
just the first joke of the Purim Spiel here. So you know it's gonna get good.
It's getting funnier as the cocktails disappear.
That's true. Okay, so here is chapter 2, verse 1, everyone, and this is setting up the next part of the story where the king's got to find a new queen. So here's a little bit of Megillah. Achar hadevarim ha'ele kishoch hamat hamelech achashverosh zachar et Vashti heit asher asata ve'et asher nigzar aleha. Let's get back to the channels, everyone.
Get that flipper out.
This is Anderson Pooper again from Shushan Tonight with King Ahasuerus. Have you considered using Tinder? You can find some fetching beauties on the app. Just swipe and wait for the reply.
I prefer to meet my women in the flesh, if you know what I mean.
Perhaps you could consider JDate. The women on this site are kind and educated. You can find young women with exceptional beauty and skills on the site.
Really? You first. A Jewish princess would not be a priority for either of us.
Are you a beautiful young virgin with eyes set on a pampered life? Are you ready to compete with 400 of the most beautiful women from all of Persia? Then come to the Shushan Luxor Spa to prepare to be presented to the king at his palace harem. We'll anoint you in the finest oils and we'll use the most soothing lotions. For the low cost of 100 kikar of silver, you don't want to miss this opportunity to be the king's queen for the ages.
Yeah, we fancy like face cream, making aloe. I will be all ready for the floor show. Line the eyelids with some black coal. Looking like a hottie is my goal. Bougie like camel pea, make it shiny. Then I hand a tattoo for my honey. Take a selfie for my IG. Rub my body with some mud from the Dead Sea. Fancy like
Now, ladies and gentlemen, join us for today's episode of Queen for a Day and Night, the program that asks, who will become Shushan's next queen? Let's hear from one of the contestants. What's your name, honey?
Cookie?
Oh, that's very interesting. Now, Cookie, could you tell us about your audition?
Well, I think I did fine in the negligee competition, but the king looked bored during my speech on why I joined the #MeToo movement.
I could see why. Now, well, thank you, Cookie. And look, I see another contestant over here. What's your name, dear? Come on over.
My name is Esther.
Well, hello, Esther. Did the king ask you anything after your audition?
He said I should feel very optimistic about my chances. He was crazy about my dance moves, and he was really impressed when I told him I cater banquets large and small. He also said he really liked my ankles.
Isn't that interesting? Did he ask you anything else? The Shushan View 2400th season continues live. Here are Hot Topics with your co-hosts, Wanda Goldberg, Simcha Baharowitz, and Serafina Hostenstein. Now let's get things started.
Our hot topic for today is who should King Ahasuerus select as his queen? Simcha, what are your thoughts?
Who cares? The old tyrant couldn't make a decision if his life depended on it. If he had any brains, he would not have had Vashti banished. He's so dumb he is probably going to ask he who should not be named, Haman, for his opinion.
Our Hatatrah king is holding a Miss Persia beauty pageant, as if physical beauty is most important to a queen. What about representation of minorities? What about qualifications?
Hold on, I'm getting a hot flash. I mean a news flash. The king has made his choice. He has selected Esther from Esther Street. Who's she?
Your wife, your harem, your passions. These things are none of our business. Her body oil rash, your favorite hummus, and whatever you were doing in the garden at 1:15 a.m., that's really none of our business, because your life is private. And unlike other news companies, we think your life should stay private too. Oh, what kind of faith is that? Oops, that's none of our business either. Protect your privacy with Go, an alternative news agency of the king.
Girls, you wouldn't believe the listing I just got. It's a palace. It has a king-size suite, spectacular grounds with an infinity pool, ample servants' quarters, luscious furnishings, and the banquet hall is to die for.
The owner is my ex. I should be the one to get the listing and the commission.
I don't know why Esther acts like she's more special than the rest of us. Just because she's Mordecai's cousin and was on that soap opera does not make her better than all the other girls.
Girls, stop your bitching. I already have the open house scheduled. We're having camel rides, chariot races, and my specialty cocktail, Vashti's Revenge. It's a killer.
Bella, booby baby, you put the star in Esther. This open house will be Sacco. Sure. You girls can bring your clients along, mooch some cocktails, and take notes on how to reel in the royalty.
Yeah. Wow, that selling Shushan, that was good. That's like a tongue twister. She sells Shushan at the seashore. It's a rare thing when Purim and St. Patrick's Day come together. So I put on my special kippah for St. Patrick's Day so that we can celebrate as we go. But so a couple of the closest I can get to jokes that involve Purim and St. Patrick's Day. So a rabbi, a minister, a minister, a priest, and a rabbit walk into a bar.
Okay.
The minister and the priest turn to the rabbit and say, "What are you doing here?" And the rabbit says, "I'm just here because of spell correct."
There you go.
But I do have another one of those. Rabbi, a minister, and a priest are playing golf, right? And they're waiting to tee off, and the group ahead of them is just so slow. They can see that they're just banging the ball in every different direction. It's taken forever. And so they call over the groundskeeper and say, what's going on? What's going on with the group in front of us? He says, well, actually, that's a group of blind firemen. They've saved people's lives. And in exchange, we've said to them, you can play golf anytime you want. And the priest says, oh my goodness, I'll pray for them. And the minister says, I'm going to raise funds for the Firemen's Benevolent Society. The rabbi thinks about it for a minute and says, they couldn't play at night?
I like that one.
Do you have a verse for us, Cantor Jay?
Yeah, we sure do. And I don't know if you guys are following the story, but there's a certain bad guy that has yet to make an appearance. So get your groggers ready as we hear for this first verse of chapter 3. Achar hadevarim ha'ele hidal Hamelech Achashverosh et Haman ben Hamedata ha'agagi vanesaehu vayasem et kisoho me'al kol ha'esrim asher ito. There you have it, folks. Okay.
Get that clicker out.
And make sure to boost your volume when you need to on these video clips.
3 true crime podcast fans find themselves working together in an unlikely alliance in Only Murders in the Palace.
Haman, Esther, I overheard that there's a plot to kill the king.
Who's responsible for this, Morty?
Well, I don't know. I mean, why don't we make a podcast and name our show Only Murders in the Palace, about the clues we discover along the way?
You two are an unlikely pair, but if all 3 of us work together, we can solve this murderous plot.
Well, I already interviewed the king. He has so many enemies. I don't know where to start.
What about Vashti? She already has a reason to kill him.
Too obvious.
Well, what about Big Fan?
Why would he be a suspect?
If the king made you a eunuch, you'd want to kill him too.
Well, then Teresh is a suspect.
Now, wait a minute. I like those guys. They wouldn't hurt the king. Are you sure we shouldn't be adding some Jews to the list?
Maybe it's you. I mean, with the king out of the way, you get more power as the royal vizier.
Settle down, you guys. It's always a likable minor character. We need to investigate everyone.
Listen to a story about a real big jerk, a hateful man and an ass at work. But then one day amidst all the commotion, lo and behold, Haman got a promotion. Now that fool was rolling in bucks. He needs a bigger house 'cause the old one sucks. Diamonds, rugs, and golden sacks. He's moving to the other side of the camel tracks.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of today's special, Yoga Techniques to Honor the Vizier. Here's what we covered. First, I showed you the child's pose. Sit with your legs under you and stretch forward, arms extended until your face touches the ground. This is Haman's favorite pose because it so closely resembles groveling. Next, I demonstrated downward facing dog. A pose Haman named with Mordecai in mind, a man Haman calls a son of a.
Here are some scenes from the upcoming episode of Noah's Ark.
Well, I hear Haman was promoted by the king, and now all y'all gonna have to bow down to him. I think we could swindle him to build us a boat, or maybe a tacky water park on my land.
Well, darling Smelly, you're just plain daft. Why would you go into business with a bigot like Haman?
Well, I do what I want, and he ain't no bigot. He just hates them Jews.
Well, he's dangerous, and I don't want to share a boat with him or a water park. And neither does Jaybird or Minor Bird. And what if Dodo Bird flies the coop? Then we got to deal with Looney Bird. And then, if we don't abide, them birds may all just fly the coop, and then the cartel will get us for sure.
Now, Ruth Slangmore, you just shut your mouth. Haman is going to build this ark with the gold from all of his protection money extortion schemes. And there ain't no way the cartel is any better. So you just get, or I may have to kill you.
Oh man. Didn't the Rugrats do a Purim special? Let's see if we can find that.
We're at the Marcy's Holiday Parade. Shushan Tonight now takes you to coverage of the parade by Regal Tilden and Sara Lee Pastry.
Sarah, we have had some beautiful floats in Marcy's Holiday Parade this year.
Yes, Regal, but the best seems to be saved for last. Here comes the king's vizier. But the people are so impressed they are bowing before Haman and his intimidating float filled with skeletons and images of a dungeon.
That is a truly scary float, Sarah. I can see why people are bowing to the strength and power on display. Brr.
But wait, it looks like Mordecai will not bow before Haman. The vizier is turning red with anger, and everyone but Mordecai is bowing and not making eye contact with Haman.
This does not bode well for Mordecai or his people. And aren't you originally an Epstein? Well, it's not going to be good for the loyal and obedient Jews who make Shushan their home.
Good evening, and welcome to the Oi, Have We Got a Situation room. I'm Wolf Blister. The Shushan Times has reported that it received from an anonymous source an edict, allegedly issued from the palace, ordering the wholesale slaughter of Jews throughout the empire on the 13th of Adar. The anonymous source claims that Haman issued the edict in response to what he considered Mordecai's insolence when he refused to bow down to Haman at the Marcy's Holiday Parade. The vizier, Haman, calls the story a complete fabrication and vows to find the source of the leak. According to a representative from the palace,
Good evening. I'm Tuckerdale Carlson, sitting in for Sean Insanity for Foxy News. The radical left-wing Shushan Times claims that it obtained a copy of an edict stating that all Jews are to be murdered by Shushan's Proud Boys on the 13th of Adar. Another example of a fake news witch hunt intended to tarnish the reputation of the king's loyal vizier, Haman. We have Haman in the studio. Welcome, Haman. Space lasers. It's what's for sinners. They're so tough, they're muzzle tough.
Stop the spiel! Hi, I'm Marjorie Trailer Trash Green, leader of the secret anti-Jewish Space Laser Society. Do you want to rid Shushan of all the undesirables? Try our new space lasers. I have it on good authority that our lasers are so accurate that they can identify any unwanted Shushanites and zap them out of existence. Or they could all wipe us out. Who knows? So, look at our hot success in redirecting the blame in California. That really got me fired up.
Great work on my torture chambers. Bunk bed racks. Brilliant use of space. Now, I have another project for you boys. I'm planning to massacre all the Jews in Persia.
So you want mass graves?
You always were hygienic.
In fact, I want corpses everywhere. Enough gallows for a theme park. The Hanging Gardens. And I want a special gallows for Mordecai, the tallest in the world.
How about something in teak?
Vicious, but classy.
But I need it by the 13th of Adar. Unless you boys want to try out the bunk bed racks.
We're on. Well, here at Makom Solel Lakeside, we're mask optional now. So this is the one I'm opting for.
Very, very good.
So come this Shabbat, we'll see. We'll see. So look forward to seeing many of you in person. So I did think of another joke about rabbi and minister and a priest. Actually, the mask reminded me of it. So the rabbi, the minister, and the priest are talking. They're trying to decide who's the best at what they do. And so they say, we're going to go out into the forest and convert a bear. And the one who does the best job will know. Okay. So 2 weeks later, they meet again. So how did it go? The priest says, I went into the woods, I found a bear, I gave him my best sermon, and that Sunday morning, there he was in the front pew. And the minister says, I also went into the forest. I met a bear. I taught him some Bible. Sunday morning, he was right there in the front pew. They turn to the rabbi and they say, Rabbi, how did it go?
How'd it go, Rabbi?
The rabbi's wearing a full body cast, and he says, perhaps I shouldn't have started with circumcision.
All right. Yes, I can see why that mask reminded you of that story.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you, Jim. Okay, so we'll go from jokes to a little bit more Megillah. And I guess everybody's aware what Haman's been up to. And we're going to see how the heroes respond. But first up is Mordecai, and this is from chapter 4, verse 1 of our Megillah. ומרדכי ידע את כל אשר נעשה, ויקרא מרדכי את בגדיו, ויובש שק ואפל, ויצא בתוך העיר, ויזעק זעקה גדולה ומרה. I think we should get back to some surfing.
Definitely. More puns, more puns.
There's terrible, awful news. Lord Haman wrote a writ. It's ratified by the king. It says all Jewish throats must be slit. It's happening very soon, the 13th of Adar. Who cares if he hated me? But now his rank has gone way too far. We have no that's real naive, 'cause somehow they'll find out you're a Jew. Don't engage in self-deception, it will not serve you well. Prepare a plan, you can become our Scarlet Pimpernel.
Whenever you're overwhelmed, have problems you can't solve, you dump them all in my lap. Why is it always me you involve? Come up with a plan, Esther, it's all up to you. You're the only one who can rescue all the Jews. Do, 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 do. But I must admit, oh, that is really true.
That movie must be on here somewhere. Who was that? Was that Ida Lupino? No, wasn't Ida Lupino. Joan Collins, that's who it was. Joan Collins, 1960, Esther and the King. That's got to be on here somewhere, doesn't it?
Haman is going to massacre all the Jews.
What have you done now?
I wouldn't bow to the strutting schmuck.
A little groveling wouldn't have killed you. On the contrary, and all the Jews, maybe just you, more obvious types.
Look who's the honorary Gentile. Heaven help us.
We are answering your distress call. I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise.
You look more like a ZBT from McGill.
I'm supposed to be Mr. Spock, but Vulcans are obviously Jewish. So, I'm going to appeal to Esther's reason while Shatner makes out with her.
What?
It's in the script.
I don't mind. He's adorable.
Just wait 50 years. But let's deal with the impending massacre. Yes, Mordecai is a vulgar schlub, and you are a classy socialite. However, you are both Jewish. Do you think that an anti-Semite can tell the difference between Jackie Mason and Stephen Sondheim? It is logical. If only to protect yourselves, you must save the Jews.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Perhaps the captain is more persuasive.
Hello, Landsman. I'm Moshe from Lador Vidordash.
Hey, we wanted to hear more from Ladorva DoorDash.
Yeah.
Can we get Moshe Lantzman back on?
Me too.
Yeah, hey, where's the TV remote?
I don't know.
Somebody changed the channel.
Yeah,
My big moment.
It's a good one too.
Diane's going to be right there, she says. So we'll see about that.
Hey.
Let me tell you, I told that joke about the rabbit before.
I remember that joke.
I told this joke in a Yom Kippur sermon, believe it or not.
Okay.
And the laugh, biggest laugh I've ever gotten in a sanctuary ever in my life was this joke. Was although I've already given away the punchline, but best friends, Maury and Abe. And Abe's on his deathbed, and Maury says, when you die, send me a sign, come back and tell me about it. And Abe dies, and sure enough, a little while later, Maury gets a call on the phone. Wow. It's Abe. Abe's on the phone. He says, Abe, tell me about it. What's the afterlife like? And he says, you wouldn't believe it. It's amazing. All day long, we sit around, we eat the most incredible produce. We have a wonderful salad, and then I make love. And then I have a salad, and then we make love again. And then beautiful greens and all these things, and then we make love again. He says, wow, the afterlife sounds great. And he says, what afterlife? I'm a rabbit in Kansas.
Okay. Reincarnation.
Yeah,
I guess.
There you go.
Not bad. Oh, hey, all right, we did it.
I'm Moshe from Lador Vidordash. Are you tired of preparing a family meal every night? In these difficult times, do you wish you could feed the whole neighborhood? without breaking the bank? If so, call Lador DoorDash. We deliver anywhere you are, anywhere. Why, we delivered bushels of apples to the Garden of Eden, arranged for manna to be dropped off in the Judean desert, an order that fed a slew of refugees for days on end. We brought fishes and loaves to the Sea of Galilee to fill the bellies of thousands of people. And we schlepped falafel, hummus, and Jerusalem salad to the top of Masada. During the Roman siege, oh my gosh, whether you're feeding 2 or 20 or 20,000, call the DoorDash and have your favorite cuisine delivered right to your door or tent flap. It's mealtime on your time. Call now and tell them Moshe sent you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Julia Childlike, the French chef of Shushan. On today's program, I'm going to show you how to prepare a meal fit for a king. For the hors d'oeuvre, a dish called What Am I? Chopped liver. Like everything else in this spiel, it's loaded with schmaltz. It's delicious on thinly cut rye bread or a chunk of challah. Next, we'll have Caesar salad, a very popular dish these days, served by every hostess who wants to seize the moment or fears she may be seized at any moment. For the entree, I'll explain how you can tell when your goose is cooked. And for dessert, I'm going to introduce you to a new recipe I've just created. It's called Hamantaschen. What's truly amazing, it's served on Purim, a holiday that hasn't even been invented yet. So let's get started.
Ooh, some appetizing food options in those last commercials, Rabbi.
Yeah, it's making us hungry over here. Julia Childlike mentioned schmaltz, and it made me think of 3 guys who are sitting together. They're talking about making love to their wives, and the first one says, it was great. I rubbed my wife all over with oil. She screamed for 5 minutes.
Wow.
And the other guy says, I did the same thing, but it was butter. She screamed for 15 minutes. Moshe says, I did the same thing. I smeared schmaltz all over. She screamed for 6 hours. And the other 2 guys are amazed. Like, what could you possibly do that made your wife scream for 6 hours? He said, I wiped my hands on the drapes.
I see. So the screaming was, I understand now. Okay.
L'chaim.
L'chaim, yes, indeed. Well, we can tell there's going to be a feast in our story. So here's a verse from chapter 7 of the Megillah about the feast that Queen Esther's throwing. And get your groggers ready for this one. Vayavo hamelech vehaman.
Missed my cue, sorry.
Lishtohot im Esther hamalka. That's a short and sweet verse. Let's get back to the surfing.
Nice of you to be at my sumptuous affair. I've prepared a small announcement with a most dramatic flair. I'm so glad you both could be here and to share my royal fat. I am confident this evening will be one you won't forget. Wait, and I'll show you. I have a foe, dear. I have a foe that you know, dear. He is quite near, dear, and I am quaking with fear. I'm sure you know, dear, Haman's new rinse
dear. You have no foe, that I know, dear. Haman will go, dear. Only Lord Haman will die. Haman, I'll see you swinging by the neck in the breezy. My next vizier and favorite new guy, standing by me when he dies.
Chag Purim Sameach.
Only 2 food tasters died. Now for some entertainment.
This is Jeopardy! Please welcome today's contestants. A meditation instructor from India, Buddha. A copywriter and stand-up comic from Greece, Aristophanes. And a conniving fiend from Persia, Haman.
That's not actually my job title.
And now, here's our host, Queen Esther.
Welcome to Jeopardy, where we will find out if you are as smart as you think. Here are your categories. I ran around. Rigor Mordecai. Queen's Gambit. Tigris Euphrates. And our final category is Guess Who's Jewish?
Hello, Shushan. Susie Slipknot here, proud owner of Gallows R Us. Has your gallows lost its luster, become a neighborhood eyesore? You can change that. During the month of Adar, all of our new and used gallows are on sale, including our fully assembled new model, the Swinger. It's 50 cubits high and includes a thick braided 30-foot hemp rope. Haman himself buys all of his gallows from us. It's true. Stop by our showroom, have a look around, and check out our graphic comic book selection in the area of the store devoted to gallows humor.
So I was thinking about this the other day. You know, it's a story about actually the crew team at Yeshiva University.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, they row crew, but every competition they come in last. So finally they decide, you know what? We got to send somebody to Harvard. They always win. Let's go and spy on them and see what they're doing that we're not doing. And so they send the captain of the team up to Cambridge, and he sees what they're doing. He comes back and says, guys, we've got it all wrong. It's supposed to be 8 people rowing and only 1 person screaming.
Oh, I see. Because Yeshiva University, yeah.
Right. You know, I mean, it's, you know,
kibitzing and
right. So I've got, you know, Cambridge made me think of another one, which is actually the story about a guy goes to Oxford University. I mean, he's from an Orthodox family, but he gets to Oxford, and his father comes to visit him there. You know, and father's got the Strymel and the Payas. I mean, the whole thing.
Old school.
Yeah, you know, he's really worried about it. He says, Dad, you know, if people see you like that here, you know, I'm not going to fit in. I'm not going to get into the good clubs, and you know, and the father, devotion to his son, goes immediately to a barber. He cuts off the side locks, cuts off the beard, and all thing, changes his appearance entirely, comes back to see his son there at Oxford. And when they see each other, the father bursts into tears. Right? The son says, Dad, I'm so sorry. I didn't really mean to make you change your appearance, you know, change everything about yourself. That wasn't it at all. And he says, that's not why I'm crying. I'm crying because we lost India. All right.
Okay.
That one fell flat.
A good colonial joke.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? I wasn't expecting that punchline.
Yeah,
so
no, not at all.
I'll remember that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one will live in infamy, I'm afraid. Yeah.
It's there should be at least one joke like that. So, but we're going to hear now about what's going to happen in the story, because the tables are going to turn, and Haman, who's in power now, might not be in power by the time we get to our next joke. So here is verse number 1 from chapter 8. Bayom hahu natan Hamelech Achashverosh leEster Hamakaha et Beit Haman sorer haYehudim uMordechai ba lifnei Hamelech ki higira Esther mahula.
Shakach.
Thank you.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
When I was vizier, I shone like the sun. After Shushan's king, I was number 1. Now all that has changed. I have been displaced. Power stripped away. I have been disgraced. I remember very fondly when the king decreed that all must bow down low. When I rode through town, the people shouted, "There goes Haman, il Magnifico." But that devil Mordechai, that little momser, he rejected that decree. So I plotted his demise and vowed to kill all Shushan's Jews quite brutally. When I sent the writ, I wrote throughout the kingdom. When I specified the 13th of Adar, I thought everything was finally in motion to make all Shushan a bloody abattoir. I imagined that whole day in living color, the roads drenched in blood and lined with deathly twitches, all the people shouting, "Jews will not replace us," while they strip the Jews of all their earthly riches. Never once did I suspect the queen had kept a little secret of her own. I was stunned when she announced that she was Jewish. I admit my mind was blown when she pleaded with the king to spare her life and all the lives of fellow Jews. I just shook my head and thought, oy vey, for this vizier this really ain't good news. Oh, it pains me so to think about my death. Oh, I hate that soon I'll take my final breath. But my last and final wish, as I face the hangman's knot, my final bit of vengeance, I assure you. Though Haman lives no longer, he shall not be forgot. I promise you, I promise you, I promise. In the future, men like Haman will appear. Men that hate the Jews and masses will revere. Maybe not today and maybe not next year. You're a ghoul and we refuse to live in fear.
but on the 13th of Adar.
The gallows are ready.
Do you remember that sunk Persian fleet at Salamis? The Greeks gave us a great price on the wood.
However, there's been a slight change in plans. The king and Mordecai will be hanging me, my sons, and everyone who attended my fundraisers. Hey, that's politics.
Good evening. I'm Rachel Mad right now. We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for a special report on suspicious activity reported outside the palace. There is a large group of protesters, and they are beginning to storm the palace in what we believe is an attempt to forestall Haman's punishment. As you can see, there is a band of rebels scaling the walls of the palace. Some have even smashed windows and breached the fortress and are now inside. At the moment, we are not sure who these people are or what they think they can accomplish, but they sure are a colorful bunch.
It's just a bill, and let's hope it's God's will, and we're sitting on Mount Damavand Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey back to Shushan City. The queen is Jewish and she leads the committee, so we know it will be law someday. At least we hope and pray that it will, but today it is still just a bill.
Hello again. I'm Rachel Still Mad right now, although tonight I should probably be known as Rachel Mad Cow. Why? Not because some Yahtzit Foxy News said so, but because you can't have a Purim Spiel without at least one cow joke. Tonight we are going to look at the change of administration from Haman to Mordecai and how it may affect the people of Shushan. Rumor has it that Haman is going to be punished for his plot to kill the Jews. We will be looking tonight at the allegations made by Y, the presumed leader of Wyanon. Why? We have no idea why. Fact. Haman, the now deposed king's vizier, who has repeatedly used Y to his advantage, has been replaced by Mordecai, a Jew. Fact 2. Y is suddenly coming out and accusing Mordecai of leaving secret baby roasts. Clearly a lie. How do we know it's a lie? Well, we all know the Jews of Shushan observe kashrut, and everyone knows that babies are not kosher.
Well, one more Purim down. Next year, maybe in person instead of on TV. L'chaim.
I don't know about all that other stuff, but I thought that last guy was pretty good.
Yeah,
that
really
was,
good
that was all
acting.
right. Yeah, I liked him. So I hope you enjoyed channel surfing with all of us. And, as Rachel Still Mad right now said, you can't have Purim without a cow joke. So Abe is in bed dying. I know, it's funny already.
Oh
right?
gosh, where's this joke going?
Yeah. So Abe's in bed dying, and his daughter brings him fresh milk from the cow to revive him. Maybe he'll feel better, but drinks the milk, really no better. She says, well, maybe if I put a couple of shots in it, at least it'll make him feel comfortable, but maybe it'll revive him. So she puts a couple of shots in the next glass of milk, brings it into Abe. He drinks it down, sits bolt upright in bed, and says his last words. Don't sell the cow.
That glass of milk must have been really good for Abe.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We checked all the boxes tonight. We had our cow jokes. We had some wonderful spieling and some great music as well. How about the last verse of the Megillah? It's all about Mordecai and Esther winning the day. And we're happy they did, because we're able to celebrate this holiday because of their heroic actions. So here is the last verse of the whole Megillah, chapter 10, verse 3. Ki Mordechai HaYehudi Mishne LaMelech Achashverosh Begadol LaYehudim Viratzuhu Lerov Echav Doresh Tov LeAmo Udover Shalom Lechozar O.
Yeshar Koch.
Thank you.
And thanks everybody for being here with us. It was great to celebrate Purim with you. We had a lot of folks online, and we have our last song coming up.
Well, here we are once again. It's 2022. On Purim last year we thought that COVID by this time would be through. We lined and got vaccines, complied with CDC, but Omicron came along, which kept us home and glued to TV. Our attention span grew shorter. We all got tough to please. We channel surfed and surfed and surfed in T's and BBDs. This year again you have heard the story of Esther and Haman and Mordecai, relayed with wit and real savoir-faire. Now our spiel is done, time to bid you au revoir. On Makom TV, we're a bunch of Jewish stars. On Makom TV, we're a bunch of Jewish stars.
Well, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We are just overjoyed with the attendance for tonight. And I hope that everybody has a happy and a safe Purim and good St. Patrick's Day, too.
Yeah.
And I know that there are so many people to thank for this amazing production. So let's see the chat light up with everybody's, praise for this incredible production. And we don't want to leave anyone out. So we've got some rolling credits for you guys. Make sure you take a moment and look and see who these incredible creative people are in our community. Chag Sameach, everyone.
Belated announcement. We have one more presentation. Len, can you help me facilitate this? There's someone who.
Hold on. I have to go downstairs.
Oh, Len, okay, so I'll keep talking. All of our players put in so much work, but there's one person who really put in so much more work, and that is our director, Mary Soloff. And Len is going to get the present, which Mary spied me leaving on her doorpost. Here you go, here you go.
Hey, Mary. Yasher Koach.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. Thank you, everybody. We had such a wonderful time. And you know what? Truthfully, I should be sharing this with everybody because Janet Ganzepner, all the songs.
Yeah, Janet.
All of the cast from the players. We all did this collaboratively and worked and wrote together and performed together. And so it was a community effort. It really was. I just happened to, organize.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for, as usual, letting me come and ruin it. So I enjoyed it very, very much. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yep. Be well, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to Diane Nora for helping our Zoom production too.
Right.
Yes, thank you, Diane.
Thank you, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Sameach.